Okay. All right, let's go, y'all. It's Monday. It's Monday. It's Monday. This is the day that the Lord has made. And ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you are, no matter what it is that you're going through, we want to focus you on to where you're going to, because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to the one and only, the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston, and every Monday through Friday, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, we come to you live to share with you information that is strategically and specifically designed to help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and all of your wealth building dreams. And here's what I need you to do before I give you the game today. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that share button. If you're on YouTube, I want you to hit the subscribe button. If you're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any other platform, figure out a way to tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know. Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramon Preston Show, we are live in his house right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, and I am super excited. I am super excited. I just came back from one of my regular trips from the M, the I, and the A, the 305, Miami, baby, being around some of the most extraordinary thinkers when it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, and I have brought back a treasure chest of excitement, a treasure chest of momentum. And there is some detailed information that I want to package that excitement and that momentum into to share with you today, because I'm going to be talking about how you can maximize your business deductions. You got to think about this in the fourth quarter of 2021. You cannot wait until the next year to focus on how you need to maximize your business deductions for this year. I know that's more of an accounting and more of a strategic tax conversation, but I know it's going to help you today. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, make sure you're subscribed, make sure your notifications are on, make sure you're helping us continue to help others. I want to give a shout out to all of you. So please let me know what city you're watching your boy from, who you represent. Put in the comments the city you're watching me from. Let me know what country you're watching me from. We have people from all parts of the world watching the Ramon Preston Show on a daily basis. And I want to say to you, wherever you are, whatever city, whatever state, whatever country you are representing, whatever tribe you are representing, whatever people group you are representing, I want you to know that we see you as family. That's one of the core values of our organization, as actually the first of 5 core values that we share as an organizational enterprise, and that is for us to treat everyone like family. We don't have strangers in our family. We love and appreciate all of you for your support, for your subscriptions, for following us, for engaging us, and for sharing with the world what it is that you're learning through the Ramon Preston Show and through all of the other platforms, programs, services, and products that we provide for you through our entire organization. So shout out to all of you. I want to give a shout out to all of our coaching members, those of you that are in our business, coaching community. Every time I go live, it seems like my sinuses start acting up. But for those of you that are in our business coaching community, I want to give a shout out to you. I want to remind you today at 5:00 p.m. we're going to be hosting our weekly coaching call. If you're not a part of our coaching program, just one of the benefits of being a part of our coaching program is you have access to our weekly coaching calls. For those of you that are on the Blueprint Game Plan, we give you access to our coaching calls with an upgrade. So you can always reach out to us to get upgraded to the Blueprint Game Plan version that gives you access to our weekly coaching calls. So I look forward to speaking to all of you that are going to be on there. For those of you that are just a part of our community, our business community, our ministry community, wherever you fit into the equation of our community, I want you to know that your time, your eyes, your ears, your attention is so important to us, because you are what makes us who we are. I want you to understand that. And please remember that. You are what makes us who we are. We would not be who we are. We would not be making the impact we're making in thousands of people's lives. Just last month, we had over 80,000 watch hours or watch minutes. I forgot what it was. I have the photo on my phone. I think I still have it. Yes, just last month alone, September alone, we had over 231 new subscribers on YouTube, 21,000 total views, and 79,000 minutes watched. That's a big deal, because the overwhelming majority of content that we share on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, the overwhelming majority of content that we share is with regard to business and financial training, because that's what makes up a bulk of our business. So I want to say welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Again, I am your host, Ramon Preston. I'm extremely grateful to be in a position not just as a business owner and entrepreneur, but even as a minister, a leader in the faith community, to be able to bring both of those worlds together, particularly for those of you who are a part of the faith community. You may be a leader in the faith community. You may be a member of the faith community, and it can very well be like a fresh wind. It could be like what do you call it? Like just a fragrance, a new fragrance for you when you're able to engage in content and receive teaching and training that captures both faith and finance, ministry and marketplace, business and church, and you're able to bring both of those worlds together. And that's what I do. That's what my team does. That's what we specialize in. So we are extremely connected to our faith, our relationship with God, our relationship with our church, our relationship with our tribe and our community. And you are a part of that. And the truth is, wherever you are in your life, even if you're not at a place of faith, well, you got faith in something. Maybe it's in the wrong thing, but you got faith in something. And so I want to make sure that we keep that connection. So please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and be sure to stay in touch with us. So we have a mailing list, we have a text list that we can continue to communicate with you, and we appreciate all of you so much for allowing us to share our mission and our assignment, our vision and our passion with you when it comes to spiritual, social, and economic breakthrough. So today I want to talk to you about how to maximize your business deductions. How to maximize your business deductions. That's what I want to talk about today. How to maximize your business deductions. Now, for those of you who don't have a business, I want you to understand something. There are strategies that you can still use as a W-2 employee to maximize your business deductions, because you are a business. The only difference between you and a legitimate EIN LLC business owner is that you have not contextualized or properly structured who you are as a business and what you do as a business. So I want to just start right there with making sure we're clear that when I talk about maximizing your business deductions, I'm talking to you as a W-2 employee. I'm talking to you as a 1099 contractor, and I'm talking to you as a entity owner who has an EIN. Because whether you are a W-2 employee, a 1099 independent contractor, or a business owner with an EIN, you are still a business, right? And you have deductions that you have to learn to maximize, because as you maximize your business deductions, even simultaneously with minimizing your tax liability, you give yourself wiggle room. You give yourself what I like to call a spread. You give yourself a spread. Oh, it don't matter what I'm spelling. I mean, it don't matter what I'm spelling. I'm always messing up words. You give yourself a spread between what you are maximizing with your deductions, that's going up, and what you're minimizing with your taxes. So your taxes have to be minimized as much as possible, and your deductions need to be maximized. So we want to max this and we want to minimize this. And guess what? Whether you are a W-2 employee, whether you are a 1099 independent contractor, or whether you are an EIN business owner, maybe you are all three. So we want to focus on how to maximize those deductions. Now, I want you to keep in mind, just in case what I share with you today kind of overwhelms you, I want you to keep in mind that in the description of this video and in the comments, because my team, they're in the comments, if at any point you have a question that you want to ask as a W-2 employee, if you have a question that you want to ask as a 1099 contractor, as a minister, a freelancer, or just a self-employee, or if there are questions that you want to ask as a legitimate business owner or organizational executive, all you have to do is drop the question in the comments, and my team will pull those questions, and I'll do my best during the live show to answer your question. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is you can take the number that you see in the description, or it may be in the comments. The number is 404-478-7213. I want you to take that number, 404-478-7213, and I want you to prepare to take advantage of this extraordinary offer that I'm extending for the first time today. For the past few weeks, we've been talking about our upcoming VIP workshops. And prior to today, we were offering the in-person workshop for $197 for you to join me and a group of entrepreneurs in person on Saturday, November the 20th. It's a 4-hour event. It's a workshop that we're going to be teaching you and training you on the nuts and bolts of sales and marketing. So we launched it just a few weeks ago, and we were offering it for $197. We were offering the virtual version of it for $97. Well, guess what? Today, we have literally sliced it by 75%. So you can literally RSVP to our upcoming sales and marketing workshop and get access to 2 other workshops while you're waiting for the live event for $29.99. Like, that's like a 75% slash, $29.99. Some of you that follow me regularly, you already know every time I go out of town, when I come back, I have another deal that I want to provide. I have something I want to do because I be excited. I be all, like just, I be stoked, like really just gone. And so we're going to be offering today, moving forward, our VIP workshop that's coming up live on sales and marketing, and we're giving you access to our holding company workshop, our business system workshop, and our financial system workshop. You're going to get 3 workshops for $29.99. So you need to click that link. You need to RSVP today, secure your spot just in case I go back out of town and come back and go up from $29.99 to $2.99 because the supply is in the demand. That's just how it is. So we're going to be offering the virtual version of this workshop for $29.99 and the in-person version, just in case you want to join me and us in Buckhead. You're going to be able to join me and my team and a group of business owners on November the 20th. And guess how much we're offering it for? $69.99, $70. Like, you give $70 away. So you can come in person for $70, or you can join us live virtually for $30. And while you're waiting, because we're about a month away, while you're waiting, you're going to have access to 2 other workshops. One workshop is going to be on holding companies. We're going to show you how to file a holding company, how to form a holding company, how to reallocate assets in a holding company, how to create non-taxable events, or how to move pre-tax revenue in different divisions and subsidiaries. We also have a financial systems workshop, and a little bit of what I'm sharing with you today is actually coming out of the playbook of that financial systems workshop on maximizing your business deduction. So I want you to take advantage of the opportunity. If you are in our coaching program, you get access to the workshops for free. So you can always join our coaching program and you get free access to it. But take the number 404-478-7213. That's 404-478-7213. I want you to take that number, and I want you to be prepared to text us or reach out to us today to speak to us about some of the things that we're offering. Now, again, you don't have to call or text if you want to RSVP. All you have to do is click that link. It's going to take you to RamonPreston.com/event, and you're going to see our virtual event for $29, and you're going to see our in-person event for $69. And again, when you sign up, when you RSVP, we're going to give you access to 2 other workshops while you wait on the live event. So if you RSVP in person, we're going to still onboard you to the virtual platform so that you can have access to the holding company workshop and the financial system workshop, which includes a little bit of what I'm talking, well, a lot of what I'm talking to you about. If you RSVP virtually, you're going to immediately have access to it when you register and sign up. So I'm excited about that because this is probably going to be our last live event for 2021. My team and I, we're already making preparation. We're going to most likely use a different venue here in Buckhead. So for all of you that are planning to be with us live in person, the location in Buckhead is to be announced. We've already surpassed the space we can accommodate in our headquarters just with all the people who have signed up already in person. So we're going to have a venue here in Buckhead, and we're going to make it an extraordinary event. So for all of you that are planning to join me and my team in person, just know we're going to deliver. We're going to make sure we show you how to create a sales system, a sales process for your company, how to create a marketing system and a marketing process for your company so you can get momentum even before the year ends. So when you move into 2022, you're going to already be seeing results in your sales and in your marketing. But while we wait for that day again, you're going to have access to 2 other workshops. So I'm very excited about that. Now, talking about maximizing your business deductions, let me establish a few foundations, okay? Because whether you're a W-2, a 1099, or a EIN business owner, your biggest expense by far is taxes. And I teach all of this in our blueprint game plan. I teach this in our workshops. I'm telling y'all, I be teaching a lot of good stuff when it comes to tax strategies, when it comes to financial accounting and financial literacy, you gotta get access to this information. You gotta learn this. Like, you just cannot be successful as you want to be in business or in finances if you don't understand the game. So when I say the game, I'm talking about business systems, creative tax strategies in financial systems, and sales and marketing. These are like the pillars of business success. And we teach this like on a regular basis. We teach it in person in our workshops, and we teach it on our blueprint game plan. You just got to have it. So let's go back to my point. So whether you are a W-2 employee, okay, whether you are a W-2, whether you are a 1099, or an EIN business owner, you could be any of the three. Your biggest expense, biggest expense is what? Your biggest expense is taxes. This is your biggest expense. Now, the group or the category that pays the most in taxes is the W-2 group. All right. The second group that pays the most in taxes is the 1099 group. So if you are one of those two groups, the ultimate goal is to move you over into this group, because this group pays the lowest taxes. So when you hear about a lot of the moguls and the gurus and the major billion-dollar and trillion-dollar companies that don't pay taxes, it is because they are in this group over here. They are business owners. They have business systems. They have investment vehicles that have created income, but the income is passive, which means that their income is working throughout a business system that always comes back to them in a different form. And this is why their tax liability is almost little to none. All right. The 1099s are the barbers, the landscapers, the local mom and pop, freelancers and contractors and vendors who don't necessarily have a business system, even though they don't work on a job. But because they're 1099s, that means somebody is issuing them 1099s, or they're just filing their taxes without an EIN and without a W-2 or W-4 form or W-2 form. They're being hit by taxes very similar to the W-2 people. This group here is also where the network marketers. So those of you that are in network marketing, I love network marketing. I think it is an awesome bridge really between these two. So if you want to bridge between W-2 and EIN, being a network marketer, learning sales, direct sales, learning multi-level marketing is always a great opportunity. Of course, when the product is symbiotic to what your purpose is or what you feel like you want to do. But then you have the W-2 employees. This is where you get hit with the most taxes. And so this is the time of the year, the fourth quarter of the year, that the wealthy companies, the ones over here that have billion-dollar business systems, that have holding companies, that have subsidiaries and global conglomerates where they have so many moving parts in their business system going on with other investments that they create such amazing levels of passive income where they minimize their taxes. But a lot of the taxes that they're minimizing, they're able to minimize them through this right here, through business deductions. So in order for your taxes to be minimized to some extent, you have to have business deductions. So let me give you a few examples of how this works. So if you are a W-2 employee, that means you get a pay stub every pay period, right? And that means when you look at your pay stub, on the top of your pay stub, you see gross. Then you got taxes and insurance and Medicare and Social Security and all the other stuff that comes out in the middle. And then at the bottom, you got what? You have net. So that's the way your financial statement looks as a W-2 employee. You have gross, you have expenses, taxes, insurance and all that, and then you have net. Well, how do you lower your tax liability by creating business deductions when you really don't have a business? Well, what you have to do is you have to either create a 1099 independent contracting opportunity, which a lot of times can be good, but it's limited because you're not able to really maximize. I want to maximize, and you can't really maximize business deductions as a 1099 as much as you can as an EIN. And guess what? You got people, and they might even be watching this, that's saying, you know what? That's crazy. You can maximize. Yeah, to some extent, but you're still limited because you're now liable with all of these creative things that you're doing. I personally recommend that even if you're not ready to run the day-to-day operations of a business system, to still put yourself in a position to own a business system. See, a lot of times people get stuck here at W-2, or at best they come over and pivot to 1099, and they never really entertain the advantages that they could maximize with an EIN. And I'm not talking about just going to get an EIN number. I'm not talking about just going to the IRS website, get an EIN number when you don't have that EIN wrapped up in a LLC or some type of entity. So if you're going to do it right, that's one of my principles. You got to do it right the first time. You don't want to do it halfway and then you realize when you end up paying too many taxes or end up in a situation because you didn't do it right the first time that you got to go back and do it right the next time. And it may be the fourth or fifth time. We don't want to do that. So what I always recommend my clients to do, or people in the community that we teach and train, is if you are a W-2 employee, all right? If you're a W-2 employee, how do you maximize your business deductions? Well, there are a few steps you have to take in order to get to the point that you can actually maximize your business deductions. The first thing you're going to need to do is, oh my God, this is so funny because every time I think of it, it's like people pass this point, they want the tactics and they miss this part. The first thing you have to do as a W-2 employee is commit. Commit to financial freedom. See, I know when I say that, it's like, oh, here we go again with this philosophical stuff. No, it's just true. You got to be committed. Because what happens is when you don't have commitment, but then you get a strategy, you implement it, you don't see the results you're looking for, and then you go back to where you were in the first place before you even implemented the strategy. You know why? Because you're missing commitment. So first thing is you got to commit. All right? So if you are a W-2 employee and you know you want financial freedom, repeat after me. You might not even be a W-2 employee. Wherever you at, say this. Say, I'm committed to my personal financial freedom. Say it. Say, I'm committed to my personal financial freedom. So let's just get that out the way. That's the mental side. Just get committed, okay? Now, from a strategic perspective, as a W-2 employee, how do you get to a point to where you can maximize business deductions? Well, guess what? If you are a business, but you don't have a business structured around who you are as a business, you're limited in how you can maximize business deductions. So just saying I'm a business doesn't mean you can maximize business deductions with certain business deduction strategies. So you actually have to not just be a business, but have a business. So I would say the first step as a W-2 employee is to readjust your W-4 form. That would be the first step. If there had to be a first step, that would be the first step. I don't even know if I'm gonna have time to go through every category, but I'm gonna try my best. The first step would be to readjust your W-4 form, okay? So what is my W-4 form? Well, you filled it out when you got hired, okay? So if you are a W-2 employee, if you work for somebody, there was a form you filled out. Depending on the size of the company, you could have done it online, you could have did it at an orientation, or you could have had to go through HR, or maybe, you know, your boss just sent you a link because, you know, it was just you and a few other people and you filled the form out. Whatever the case is, you need to revisit it and go readjust it. So what are you going to readjust? Well, you want to readjust the number of exemptions. And most of the forms, because I've seen it, because we've seen it just within the last couple months, a lot of forms in different states have changed. But basically, here's what you want to do. Whatever the number is, whatever that number is that you put on your W-4 form when you first got hired, that number may have reflected dependents. So if you had 2 kids, you may have put 2 on there, or 3. If you don't have any kids, you may have put 0 dependents. So what you want to go back and you want to lift that number up to as high as you possibly can. Conservatively, you could put a 6. If you want to just be aggressive with it, you can put a 9. But what are you trying to do? What you're trying to do is you're trying to take your gross. Let me see. What you're doing when you do this as a W-2 employee is you're trying to take what your gross is, your gross pay, and then you got net pay, and then you got taxes in the middle, right? So when you readjust your W-4 and you go up on that number, what you're doing is you're going down on the tax liability, because most of the time when you get paid this dollar amount in your gross, taxes are so high, this number goes down, and then you take home a lower amount because your federal tax liability is so high. So when you readjust that W-4 and you go up on that number, 6 or maybe 9, what happens is your taxes, now the liability goes down, your gross comes back to your net and your net goes up. That's what you want to do. Now, you could do any study you want to just on this one strategy, but most tax experts, including the IRS, TurboTax, H&R Block, and people who are like legitimately doing this type of work, most of these experts or these organizations suggest that the average W-2 employee pays more in income taxes than they're supposed to. And they're suggesting that the average W-2 employee pays about anywhere from $200 to maybe some, depending on how much you get paid, to $400 too much per month. Think about that. Think about that. I want you to just dwell on that. I know this might have to be a discussion all week I have. Because I want to show you how to maximize your business deductions. Because a lot of y'all like, well, I'm going to go get a second job. Or I just need to find another hustle. No, you need to learn the money game on the level you're on. And you need to understand what accounting principles or what tax strategies can you implement where you are to maximize what you have, okay? So you cannot maximize your income if you're not connecting it or complementing it by maximizing your deductions. And you can't maximize any of the two if you're not thinking like a business person, okay? So studies show that the average W-2 employee, they pay anywhere from $200 to $400 too much per month in taxes. So let's just look in the middle. Let's say if the average person is paying $300 a month too much in federal income taxes just because they have not properly readjusted or properly filled out their W-4 form. Let's just say if the average is $300 a month. How much is that a year? That's $3,600 a year. So if you just implemented this one strategy, think about how much more income you can have coming in. Now that's for a different conversation, but I want to show you how this strategy leads you to maximizing your business deductions, okay? So as a W-2 employee, because I don't want nobody to say, yeah, what he's saying is good, but it don't make sense. How do you do it? See, this is what I teach people. I don't just show you what to do, but I teach you how to actually do it. So I'm not just running here saying, oh, you need to make more money. You need to do this. You need to maximize your business deductions. And then you're like, well, how do I do it? I'm showing you how to do it. This is how you do it as a W-2 employee. Back to you. As a W-2 employee, what are you doing? One, you readjust your W-4 form. Now, a lot of you are entrepreneurs. You're 1099s, and you might even be a business owner with an EIN, but you're still working a job. This is what you need to go back and do. Don't just be banging out your 1099 and banging out your side hustle and banging out your business without doing this. So you readjust your W-4 form. Now, once you readjust your W-4 form, now here's the problem you're going to find yourself with. Let's say if the average federal taxes that you pay are $300 a month, too much. And then you readjust your W form, and then by the time you get your next pay stub, you see $150 to $200 extra every pay period. So let's say if it's $150 extra every pay period that you now see on your net pay. That means every month you're seeing $300 more. Now the question is, oh my God, I'm gonna end up owing taxes next year because I got more money coming in that I'm not paying in federal taxes. So that means I got, let's say, an average of $300 a month that I'm getting in my net pay, right? I'm getting that in my net pay, which means I'm gonna have a tax liability issue next year if I don't do something. Well, this is where you need to, step two, I personally would recommend for you to start a business. And what a lot of people don't understand is, because I know sometimes people will say, well, you need to join a network marketing company. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or you need to find some 1099 work. That's a good idea. But if you're gonna go, why not go all the way? Let me say that again. If you're gonna go anyway, why not go all the way? So if you're gonna go through the grueling task of finding a 1099 independent contracting opportunity, right? Or you're gonna join a network marketing company, right? You're gonna be an independent business owner. You're gonna now be in business. But you're in business through a 1099 when you do that. But you're still gonna have to do what? You're gonna have to track your income and expenses. You're still gonna have to track your income and expenses. Let me see what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to track your income and expenses. You're gonna have to do basic bookkeeping, right? You're gonna have to keep your records. You're gonna have to monitor your transactions. You're gonna have to actually act like a CEO. Like everything you do as a 1099, you have to do it as a business owner anyway. But this is not the most maximized strategy for you. I'm not saying not to be a 1099, but what I'm saying is if you have the right information and that information is giving you better strategies that could be maximized to lower your liabilities and to increase your profitability, why don't you just take it a step further? Because if you're going to a W-2, if you're going from a W-2 employee to a 1099, I mean, you're only like 2 steps away from an EIN. And I'm not just talking about getting an EIN number. I'm saying getting the EIN and packaging that EIN with the LLC. So that's why my recommendation is always start a business. Well, Prophet Ramon, I ain't got no products and services. We will figure that part out. That's why you got me. You got coaches like me. You got companies like mine. I have a team here of people. I was just on the phone with a young man talking to him about our coaching program. And I said to him, among all the other benefits, one of the most important benefits and features of our program is you have a personal coaching coordinator. You got somebody that you can text, somebody you can email, somebody you could call and reach out to. So we're not going to be worried about, oh my God, if I start a business, how am I going to manage the books? Well, you're going to have to do that as a 1099. If I start a business, how am I going to track my income and expenses? I don't know nothing about accounting. You're going to have to do that as a 1099. Oh, guess what? You should be doing it as a W-2 employee. And this may be one of the reasons why you don't have any money as a W-2 employee, because you're not tracking your income. You're not staying on top of your books. You're not looking at your activities and your transactions. You don't give yourself a report of what your personal financial situation is. So doing it as a business owner is not going to be no different than what you're doing as an independent contractor, a 1099, or a W-2 employee. So as a W-2 employee, first thing you need to do before that leads you up to maximizing your business deductions is readjusting your W-4 form to make sure that as much of your federal taxes that are being taken out of your gross, as much as you possibly can, that you can shift that, transition that to show up in your net. So what that's going to do within the next 1 or 2 pay periods is it's going to increase your income. So now you're actually bringing home more money, right? But now we have to lower that tax liability, because we don't want you to come around next year and end up owing taxes. Because the year before you were paying too much in taxes, but now you don't want to go in the next year and you owe more in taxes. Well, what do you do to buffer that, or to diffuse that, or to minimize that? You have to maximize your business deduction. So that means you need to start a business. So if you are representing a marriage, if you're representing a household, if you're representing a last name, if you're representing a family, I recommend this is one of my pillars. One of my philosophies is every family should own a business. Every family, especially black families, especially people of faith. We should all own families. And guess what? If you're white, I'm half white. If you're Spanish, I look Spanish. If you're Hebrew, I don't know Hebrew that good, but you know, you get the drift. You could be whatever. The point is, you should start a business. Now you're gonna have to learn how to run the business. But guess what? It only takes a commitment and a few steps to own the business. Let's just get you to owning first. Can we just establish that first? Can we get you to own? Well, Ramon, I don't know how to start a business. Well, I got a few options for you. You can join our Blueprint Game Plan. We have an online training program, and one of the programs we have on that platform is a program to teach you how to start and structure a holding company. So we have tutorial videos, we have documents and forms, we walk you through the process of how to file for your EIN, how to file for your Secretary of State Articles of Organization, how to categorize your LLC as a holding company. We walk you through the process of how to get your operating agreement. We actually have a template for operating agreement PDF that you just basically fill in the blank spaces to have your operating agreement. You go open up a bank account. We walk you through the whole process. Like literally, we have an entire training program teaching you how to start and structure your holding company, okay? And guess what? If that is not an option because you just feel like you're not experienced enough to do it, Well, we have a legal department on our team that will file and form all your paperwork for a fee, of course, but they will file it and you will know without a shadow of a doubt that it's done right, because these are legal experts that do it. So if you're interested in either of the two, that number that I gave you that you see in the comments in the description, I want you to text Blueprint. I want you to text Blueprint to us so that we can get you onboarded to our Blueprint, or so that we can get you connected to our legal team so that you can get your holding company started. And so I always recommend, and here's another question, because some people like, okay, if you want me to own a business, I don't have products and services, but you're saying I should still own it even before I learn how to run it. Why do you want me to then get a holding company as opposed to just a regular LLC? A holding company is a LLC. It ain't like a holding company is a different entity. The holding company is like the category. It is the type of LLC that you have. I encourage people, I recommend it because I teach people how to use the holding company concept to run their LLC. When you learn the concept, you learn strategies on how to do what we're talking about doing, how to minimize your tax liability, how to maximize your business deductions, how to reallocate certain assets within your business, how to separate your intellectual property from your operating services, from your products, from your logos and trademarks. Like, all of this can be done within the world of a holding company. So as a W-2 employee, that's what you got to do. You got to readjust your W-4. Then you need to start a business. I'm telling you to start a holding company. And you could start that as a LLC. And I always get this question, well, shouldn't I do it as a C Corp? Shouldn't I do it as a S Corp? No, because your tax person who does your taxes next year for you and for your new business, they will treat this holding company a certain way based on your tax liability. But they're not going to fix your problems. This is what a lot of entrepreneurs and people who get in business don't understand. The things that I'm talking to you about, your CPA, your accountant, or the people at H&R Block or TurboTax, or the mom and pop in your hood, they are not responsible for mitigating your taxes or for maximizing your business deductions. They assume some level of responsibility to help you, but they're not responsible for running your business. You got to learn these things. And so many entrepreneurs make that mistake. They think they're going to go to the tax person in January, February, March of 2022, and they're going to fix all their problems. Then you looking like, dog, man, oh my God, I didn't know that. You got to know that. So I'm showing you now, because the wealthy people, the rich people, the multimillionaires, the gurus who run organizational enterprises, guess what they're doing now all the way up until December 31st? They're looking for ways to maximize their business deductions that will subsequently lower their tax liability in 2022. But they're not waiting to do that in 2022, because they know whatever they do has to be done in this calendar year in order for them to get credit. And there are so many strategies that you can use. I'm just on the W-2 one. So you readjust your W-4 and you start a business. I'm telling you to start it as a holding company LLC. Now again, with this VIP workshop offer that I'm giving you for $29, the virtual, and for the in-person, $69, whichever one you want, I'm giving you one holding company workshop. So I'm teaching you all this that I'm talking about. You're going to learn that in the holding company workshop. And I'm giving you a financial system workshop where you're going to learn a lot of strategies that you can use to maximize your business deduction. So I want you to take advantage of that. So hopefully I made that clear to you. So I didn't just tell you what to do as a W-2 employee on how to maximize your business deductions, but I just showed you how to do it. You readjust your W-4 and you start a business. Once you start your business, now it's time to do this. It's time to write off. Now it's time to look at. It's time, and this applies to 1099s and business owners, by the way. This same strategy applies. The W-2 readjustment of your W-4 form, that strategy doesn't work for you as a 1099 or business owner. But for those of you who are not W-2s or that already have a business, if you're a 1099 or W-2, so let me just put that together. W-2 employees and 1099 independent contractors, both of y'all need to start a holding company. LLC. So the W-2 employee, you need to start a holding company. The 1099 independent contractor, you need to start a doggone holding company. You need a holding company. You need a holding company. So once you have your holding company established, then we can decide and determine, are the things you're doing divisions? Meaning that if you're doing 2 or 3 things as a W-2 or 2 or 3 things as a 1099, can you use them under your holding company as a division so that you don't have to start another LLC? Or are some of the things that you're doing considered to be subsidiaries? Here we go again. I'm always messing up. Because if subsidiary, yeah. Because if some of the things that you're going to be doing in your holding company are subsidiaries, maybe they need to be separate LLCs, right? This could be LLC number 2, and let's say LLC here. This could be number 3, but both of them could be owned by the main holding company. That's how you build it out. Because if you have certain operations that need to have their own entities, then these entities become subsidiaries that are owned by your holding company. Or if you have divisions, they don't have to have their own entity. They may be things that are not risky, not volatile, and they're very similar to a flow of what you're building your holding company around. You can actually do it as divisions. But once you do this part, and now we're all finally, officially in the business. We're all officially in the business. Now that you are officially a business, now you can maximize your deductions. And remember, if you readjust your W-4 as a W-2 employee, you're going to need that business so that you can start maximizing your deductions. So when you get back around to tax time in 2022 and you tell your tax person, I started getting more money in my take-home pay because I lowered my tax liability almost to 0 or maybe to 0. And now they're saying my tax liability is, let's say, $4,000 for 2021. But your business deductions can actually eat that up, because what you're going to start doing from the time you readjust it, or if you haven't done it, let's just say if you're a 1099 or if you're a 1099, what you want to do as a 1099, I forgot to mention this, for those of you that are 1099s, if you are a network marketer, you need to switch your social security number to your EIN number. So that network marketing company should have your EIN, not your social security, because that 1099 is going to come where? To your business, not to you. So now you can maximize these deductions. Man, I'm giving y'all game for free. I'm finna stop. This don't even make no sense. Man, y'all should be thanking me, especially those of you that's learning. You should be thanking me. You should be saying, Prophet Ramon, thank you for giving me the game. I I know you selling your blueprint for $1,500. I know you selling your coaching for $5,000. I know you have a business certification program for $15,000. I know you have a licensing program where you give everything to me for $25,000, but you're willing to show up every day for at least 1 hour, give or take, late or not, and give me the game for free $99. How much are you charging me today, Ramon, for all this game? This is how much I'm charging you. Free $99. That's how much you got to pay me today. Free $99. So if you're in business, W-2 employee, readjust your W-4. 1099, readjust that 1099 from Social Security to EIN. And both of you should start a holding company LLC. All right? Once your holding company LLC is started, then we want to structure it. We want to make sure we have your divisions set up, or maybe subsidiaries. You may have to have a couple operating entities depending on what you're doing. Maybe you're doing real estate investing. Maybe you have an apparel line, but you also have products and services. Maybe you're doing insurance. I don't know what it is that you're doing. We would have to assess your situation on a more sophisticated level, but I'm just giving you the general aspects of what you should be doing. But once you have it started and structured correctly, now you begin to maximize your business deductions. How do you maximize it? Well, there are a lot of things that you have to do that I'm probably going to have to wait to get into tomorrow, because in order for you to start getting into the granular details of maximizing your business deductions, you're going to have to get real good at what we call accounting. You got to get real good at accounting. And in order to get good at accounting, there are like 3 layers to this. And I'm probably going to have to wait to talk about it tomorrow because my time is up. But there are 3 layers. So one layer is going to be historical. It's going to be historical. That means you're going to have to know how to go back and look at what you've done all year. One layer is going to be current. This is about you looking at what you're doing right now. And then one layer is going to be, future. It's going to be future. So this is more of the forecasting. This is more of the tracking. This is more of the tracing. So the historical tracing is about you going back all the way up to January of this year. The current is about you tracking what you're doing every day now. The future is about you're able to forecast out to December 31st to see how many opportunities for deductions can I pull into today. Sometimes you could go into the future. A lot of times you can. There are things that you can pull from a year or 2 out into this year to maximize business deductions. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I want you to put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was today. Please put in the comments, what is your biggest takeaway today? And if you're saying, Ramon, man, I just need all the game. Well, guess what? I'm making it very easy for you. I just told you that I have a licensing program. Let me write it all down. I have a licensing program for $25K. I have a business certification for $15K. I have a coaching program, 1 year, for $5K. I have a blueprint game plan. This is my online training program. It's the blueprint game plan. All this information. This is $1,500. And then I have 3 VIP workshops that I'm offering you today for, what is it, 69 in person? 69 in person. This is a 1-day event, 69 in person, or you could pay $29 to get access to all 3 virtual. Like, I'm finna sit, can you see that on the screen? I'm finna sit there right there. So I'm showing it to you. So you could pay $29 and get access to 3 VIP workshops. You get access to a sales and marketing workshop. You get access to a financial systems workshop where I teach all of these principles I just went through. I teach historical tracing, current tracking, future forecasting. I teach you almost 100 creative tax strategies. I teach you about the fundamentals of accounting, the components of accounting. I teach you about the ABCs of financial literacy. I also teach you about QuickBooks, how to reconfigure it. In our third workshop, all of which is for $29 virtual, $69 in person, the business holding company workshop, I teach you how to file and form it. I answer some of the most common questions about holding companies, how to run the day-to-day operations, how to invest through it, how to reallocate pre-tax revenue in your holding company. So you can pay $29 for a virtual, $69 for in-person, and guess what? Any other program that we have, we got, hold on for a minute, let me see who this is calling me on the live.
Ramon Preston.
Hello? Hello? This is Raymond Preston, Ramon Preston. Who am I speaking with? Okay, how you doing, man? Okay. Yeah. Oh, you in 305, huh? Okay, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I'm just in the whole conversation with you. I am literally live on my show right now on YouTube, so can I just give you a call back? We're about to end it. Okay, give me about 10 minutes and I'm gonna call you back, bro, okay? All right, thank you, appreciate you. See, there's somebody calling ready to do business. And they from the 305. And they got family here in Atlanta. I'm just all on live, taking phone calls. When I see that business number show up, I'm like, oh, huh? I got to answer it when I see RP Enterprises show up. So anyway, y'all, $29, you get access to the virtual. And it's 3 workshops. Everything that I'm teaching now, you get it in these workshops, or you could join me in person on November the 20th. And while you're waiting, you could take the other 2 and start learning about business systems, holding companies. You can learn about financial systems. Or if you would like access to our world-class blueprint game plan, we have a 1-year program for business and financial training. You learn about holding companies, financial systems. You learn about goal setting. You learn about real estate investing. You learn about starting and structuring nonprofits and for-profits. We have documents, forms. We have all of our live workshops and masterminds. All of this is here. You get hundreds of training videos. It's on demand, 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365 for the whole year access, $1,500. Guess what? You can get our coaching program for $5. You can get certified as a consultant coach. We'll train you for $15. Or you can become a licensee. And guess what? You can literally have authorization to sell everything I'm showing you right now as a licensee. It's up to you. I'm giving you the game for free. And guess what? If $29 is too much, just join me tomorrow right here, same place, same time on the Ramon Preston Show. It is what it is. So hit the link if you want to be a part of our workshop, or if you see anything that you would like to know more about, feel free to text VIP, text Blueprint, text Coaching, text Certify to 404-478-7213. Or you could do what Brother Allen just did. You can call me and say, hey, I want to talk to you about whatever it is that you're doing. And guess what? All this information you can find on RamonPreston.com. I love y'all. I have somebody I got to call back who wants to be a part of our program, and I got to make sure that I serve him well like I want to serve you well. So give me a call, text me. We're here. We're waiting to hear from you. We want to get you to your next level. Love you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow, same place.